All right, so I've been in a hotel like 6 days now. And actually, the seventh day probably. Man, that's why I can afford this. And tomorrow I'm going back to be homeless again. Um, yeah. Um, one thing I'm gonna say about the piano, because I started playing piano when I was in my 20s, and then I stopped for a while. And whenever I pick it up again, it's always like I feel like completely different, but I can really more connected to it and stuff. And this time it's a pretty cheap keyboard. I paid $60 for it, man. But it sounds pretty damn nice, man, and it feels good. But I grew up in an environment where anything, any instruments like percussive, like drums would never never, I wanted to be a drummer. My friend ended up being a drummer. I've ended up picking up guitar. Because guitar is the easiest thing I could get into my household without them bothering me. Even that with the amplifier was a problem. And I bought the guitar on my own. I was working. I was at the age of 11, so I was working. And I bought the guitar when I was 13, 14 from my friend of mine. First guitar. And he was selling his, and I ended up taking a few lessons from him. It was kind of cool. And then I ended up buying another guitar later on, trading it in for one I had for Les Paul, like 1976 Les Paul, really cool little Les Paul, from this music store. And then I ended up taking guitar lessons there on my own, paying for them on my own. Something like the piano would never fit because they wouldn't have the money for a piano. And there was nobody musical in my family at all that I know of. Nobody, listen to albums, listen to music, But they were like more like kind of dancing and stuff. But actually any kind of like creative outlet like that, no, so I had to kind of like force that on myself. And playing guitar was really came kind of naturally. But I gotta say the piano is for straight out is one of the easiest instruments to play because everything's laid out so perfectly. You have you have 7 notes, and then you have major notes, and then you have the sharps or sharps or flats with the blackened keys, and every 7th note, and they relate to the 7 notes on here, the 7 notes of the chakra, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So it goes into that octave. So piano is like compared to like the guitar, which the guitar has a lot. You have to hear some of those chords are really hard to play. You have to and once if you stop playing guitar, you end up you lose the calluses and you lose the strength of the fingers to play some of those chords, and it's like it becomes more difficult. And the guitar isn't really laid out as simplistic as the piano. The piano is. And the second thing about it is it's percussive, just like the drum. And being a drummer now, and drumming, I really didn't get into my life, until like probably in the 20s, same time as around this thing. Because I just drumming with my family, they were like but the piano is very percussive itself. So using the same percussive like. Right? And getting it, and I love jazz. I mean, I used to go see. I grew up in New York, and me and my friends would go, and mostly his brother used to first take us and stuff. And then later on, we were going to ourselves, but that's the Blue Note on the Bottom Line, the Village Vanguard, the Village Gate, and Sweet Basil's, and all these freaking really cool clubs in Manhattan. During my time, I don't think some of them are not there anymore. No, some of them moved. But I saw really good players like really up close, man. And piano's always been something like I kind of love, but I never could really because I wasn't talking. I mean, I wasn't taught theory. I wasn't given music in my household was not a very important thing. So be fighting that to try to really if somebody would have given me piano lessons at the age of 5, I'm pretty sure I would have ran with it. And whatever. But the piano to me again is the most It's easy, but it's also the most. Let's see. Personally, right now, it's one of the most satisfying ones. Maybe other than the drums, but the drums, But this I can put headphones on. I can control the volume. Somebody complains about it. Nobody's complaining so far. So, but. Yeah, I don't know theory that well. I know the chords. Some of the chords I'm playing, some I don't. I do everything really by ear. Guitar was really the only thing I really learned a lot of the chords on, and because I needed to play with people and stuff. But the piano's always been a thing where hey man, if you play in the white keys, C major, man. All natural notes. If you play both black keys and white keys, you go into the minor keys. I play it by ear, man. It's very strange that I can really play it because I never really took lessons with it. But again, because I played other instruments and I'm pretty good just picking up instruments, the piano became pretty good in my 20s. I first picked it up in the 20s and I had it for a while and then again in the 30s, my 30s, and then I sold it and back and forth and this is a nice piano though. So that's it. And then when I'm here, I just basically what do you do? The hotel is like first of all I get a break from being homeless and I have running water and basically some kind of like normality, a little bit of normality. And then after that then I have a place where I can actually play the keyboard any 24 hours if I want to. And just spit out songs because you know what? Because I got nothing better to do, man. I got nothing better to do. I don't want to play in your system anymore. I'm sick of your system. I'm sick of your slave system that I don't want to play in it. I just don't want to go out there and sometimes I just don't even want to go out and leave and deal with fucking going in and buying something and not having enough and making sure you had letter and this and I'm sick of it, man. So I got nothing better to do. And then when I run out, which is tomorrow, I take this back to the storage unit, and I live between there and wherever I can put a tent that they won't bother me, so I found some kind of like shelter. But yeah, I did waste some money again on a hotel for a week. But as I said, when you're here, and all of a sudden you can't get out of hell, and you're in a temporary heaven. It's not really a heaven. It's more like a higher level of hell, But it's still really closest to heaven that you wish you had. At least here, there's a sense of normality for that week that I have enough money to sustain myself for that week. After that, I can probably go up to 10 days, but then I will have absolutely no money going out. Now I'm going out with a little money left, but will it last? Probably not. Everything's expensive, especially when you can't buy stuff and stock it up in your closet. You go to Costco or wherever else you guys go to buy bulk stuff, and I can't buy bulk stuff. I buy whatever I can eat today, and I got no place to store it. I did attend in behind ShopRite, but they threw us out a year ago and they promised us housing, which doesn't exist. So how are they going to give us houses if it doesn't exist, right? They can promise we'll kick you out of here, but we're going to put you somewhere. They put us anywhere. But then two or three people got housing out of 17 that were named, but there was more people back there that weren't named in the lawsuit. So I didn't get us anything. So I'm still taking it day by day as I can. I don't really. I honestly, I don't. I learned a big lesson when I almost died from a flu shot 13, 14 years ago, whatever it is now. Your life can be taken away from you like that, and everything they make you waste your time on in this civilization. And it's mostly about money. Everything is about money. You waste every single minute of the freaking day about money. Because money is what you need to survive. Money is what you need to live. Money is the thing you have to love. Oh, it's the love of money that we're all here. Okay, you have to love it, right? Because you need it to survive, man. Every human being is born addicted to money. Born addiction to money. It is the most lethal drug out there, killing more human beings than all the illegal drugs combined. Yet it's legal, not just legal, but it controls our civilization. If it is the root of all evil, that means a civilization that is controlled by it, guess what? It's following the footsteps of evil, right? I mean, come on, man. They didn't create a heaven on earth for us, right? You know, oh, you can't do that. You know, hell on earth. You got a hell on earth here, man. And so you ain't training for no heaven. Even if you believe in heaven or not, you ain't training for heaven. You're training for hell. Because there's nothing here that represents something that would be an utopian. But why do you got to wait for it until you're dead, man? You know, why do you have to wait for it until you're dead? As by Mr. Marley's song, you know, but if you know what your life is worth, you will find it here on earth. What he meant by that is you'll find your heaven here on earth and not wait for you to die and get it there. Why the fuck? You don't even know if it's there at your death. So why the fuck are you hoping it's there instead of creating it now here? If you can conceptualize it being, you know, what is heaven to you, man? What represents the damn heaven? If you believe that you're gonna go to heaven or hell at the end of your life, what represents heaven to you? Okay, then why is it that everything here isn't included? You think there's a money market system and a class system in heaven? You think God is on top of there and the angels and underneath there is all the souls that come in there? You think that's the way everything runs in this entire universe? No, this is the only thing that runs like that. And you know what? That's why it's doomed to fail, man. It ain't going nowhere past right here, and it's going to take a whole bunch of people with it. You know, that's the thing. Man, it shouldn't be, because you should be, you know, going forward, not being stuck. You know, if your civilization is actually doesn't get any better, it actually gets worse. You know, there's something wrong with the people that are running it. You know, that are controlling it. And those people that are controlling are the people that have money, because money, the billionaires, because they're that 5,000 group of people, those billionaires, you know, their money have made them be able to control everything in the civilization, because they convinced you that money is worth something more than you in life. It's worth something. That money is that thing that Satan gave to that coin is worth more. And you've believed it, and because you believe that it's worth more, and you practice it, and you say, okay, what are you gonna do? Hey man, inflation. You keep on doing that and letting them do that to you. They will continue doing it, because they're not gonna live forever. They're not gonna walk away from their fucking money. They're not gonna walk away and say, realize, hey, my wealth creates their poverty. So maybe if I do away with wealth, poverty goes away. Hey, Elon Musk, you know what the solution to poverty is? I just gave it to you, asshole. Get rid of everything and burn everything that's related to money, and your poverty will go away. Will you do it? No. Why? Because you're a fucking asshole like everybody else. Every other fucking wealthy fucking billionaire that controls everything. You're all co-conspirators in the creation of poverty, right? And know that your money and your wealth creates that poverty. Yeah, and you know the solution will be removing that wealth, and eliminating that wealth, and eliminating that, and making everybody equal. You know that is the cure to poverty, yet you do nothing about it except trickle down some money to poverty. Here you go. Well, this year I gave half my money to poverty. Well, if you weren't there creating the poverty, guess what? You wouldn't have to give anything to them. It's all be given to them as human beings, you know, respected, brought into this world, respected as human beings, not trampled on like slaves, which is what the society still does. So, yeah, that to me, and I don't know how else to say it, man. I can't work. I'm sorry. I am disabled. My mind right here. My awareness is about this big million, and because it's about this million, I walk into any place and go like, "This is all fucking wrong. Fuck you. I cannot do it. I cannot do anything other than that. You want to give me medication to stop me from doing that? You know, that's why there's no activists left. That's when no change will really happen, because the change that has to happen is not the change that you say. We go in there and we change everybody's minds and we make them all into Democrats and Republicans and woo 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 woo. The true change that is going to happen is y'all walking away, the poverty class, which is the majority, walking away from their safe system and just waiting, sitting down and waiting. Don't fight. Fighting is fighting. That's what you'll be pulling in. Even this protest, when you just sit there and protest, and then when you sit there and protest, they'll just grab you and put you out and say, go back to work tomorrow. But now if you just walk away from it, everybody agrees to walk away from it. You're the majority. I say, you know what? No more. No more poverty, no more class system, no more money. Get rid of it all. Let's all work together to create the one best product and share it all equally. And when we do that, we'll find that the majority of the problems in our society goes away. Crimes will go away. There are no reason to commit a crime if you get everything like everybody else equally. Every human being is respected equally. It's easy to do. It's harder to do what you're trying to do. You understand? You know how much time you waste on money, how much protecting it, serving it, making it, dying for it, killing for it, all the shit that you fucking do. It's all time wasted. If you didn't have that extra thing, you just agreed to all share everything equally and make sure everybody got everything. It's that simple. And you all work together to create the one best product, not enough product for the poor and for the rich. Right? You all get together and create the one best product. And share it for free. That's so hard to grasp. That's so hard to understand. Why is equality such a problem with people? Why? Because I worked really hard to become my level in my class. Sorry, I'm not going to give up my class just to be equal with somebody. See, that's not human. One trait of the humans that differentiate you from even the animals and then other species of living organisms around you. Empathy and compassion. Empathy and compassion are balanced by logic. Those two things, logically, empathetically, and compassionately, you try to remove what's hurting you and your collective consciousness. And if there's something wrong with your body, you can fix that cells in the body, right? Boom, fix them. Something's wrong, you fix it, right? You make it. It's the same thing with here. Work on the human consciousness and collective consciousness of the human being. Work on making that getting that into a perfection kind of a state, like getting the body nice and healthy. By making sure that everything and everyone is taken care of. No profit, no competition. You want to compete in sports? Woo! But you want to compete in what? In life? What are you, fucking stupid? You're competing in life. You're competing with each other, get it? It's not like a high race of beings coming down here and trying. You're competing with each other. Competing with each other is doing what? It's creating the one. No, it's wasting your fucking time, man. We all get together and create the one good, and then let's go. What's next? I don't know. What's next? Well, I think now is when all those upgrades we were supposed to get back then work actually come in and get upgraded as a collective consciousness, because a collective human consciousness, a collective species, a collective civilization, whatever you want to fucking call it, man. But do yourselves a favor. Stop doing what isn't wrong. I'll repeat this again. And then people say to me, what are you doing? It's like, the definition of insanity, right? The definition of insanity, right, is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, right? So your civilization has been doing this whole fucking corporate, for profit shit for what? 2,000, 3,000 years already, right? With the money involved somewhere or other, right? Where has it worked? Where has it worked for the majority of people? Because if you're just looking for the few wealth classes, and then the also underneath that the middle class, and you forget about the fucking what? The people that are holding the shit up. You forget about them, then guess what? One day they will wake up and walk away, and you'll have nothing. And the middle class will have to be the poor class, and then you only have two classes. You have then you split up the middle class into three classes, and then you have the whole area over there. It's like, they're still doing the class system. Hey, how many got? I don't know, like 100 people. How many we got? 8 billion. Because if you're so stupid enough to go do that when everything in here is free, then you deserve to be over there. Go ahead, man. And see how you can come back to me and tell me how much they've worked you now. And giving you this shit that's worthless over here. 8 billion people go, money? we used to kill for that shit, man. Right? That's evolution, man. That's the soul descending and not being stuck here. That's the evolution that you should have been on. In fact, that you should have been on, but you're stuck in that cell phone kind of like, revolving like little thing that those rodents, little wheel. Basically going nowhere, man. At this point, they're just making more room for more souls to come in. So they now you have a nice big, nice big netting of souls at the end. And there goes your hell, your real hell. Yeah. Hell doesn't happen when you die, kiddies. It happens when the civilization dies, and then that's when the souls, unfortunately, of the ones. Hey, man, who do you think brought down your civilization? You think you guys are full of compassion and empathy. You wouldn't kill each other if you weren't like trained to do so. Who do you think did that? Huh? The ones coming in that wants your souls. Control your entire wealth class and control everything in your civilization, and it's basically leading you there like sheep into a slaughter, man. I mean, the sheep. Go ahead, go through that door, sweet. Don't worry. There's a whole heaven waiting for you out there. Go ahead, go through that door. So, good luck with that, and and then again, I'm sure some people are like, oh man, he's not really playing that piano. He's just using that's all like he's just making believe. No, I play piano. I just don't play other people's songs like everything else. I don't play. I like so once in a while, something else will come up and. I really like McCoy Tyner. I don't know if anybody knows McCoy Tyner.